I got hit on my mouth and I broke all my teeth, but I know there is a whole different story behind those teeth that I need to look into. And to dig into their world is very important because, yes, I may be able to fix up their teeth. Am I going to be able to give them their confidence back? Am I going to be able to make them smile again? Because you don't know how do they feel. They're really embarrassed about their situation. It really does impact them in a very negative way.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Multiverse Technology Podcast. Today's guest is Dr. Hassan, founder of Smileland Dental in Fort Lauderdale, where he blends global training, advanced technology, and anxiety-friendly care to deliver confidence, building smiles for every patient. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Hassan.
Hi, Justin. How are you? How you doing?
I am doing well. It's good to have you on here. If you can kind of take our audience on a little bit of a journey. Who is Dr. Hassan? What built you from who you were to who you are now running a dental practice?
Well, I started like years ago when I did not have any gray hair, obviously, and I actually started all with my family. My parents, they always wanted me to be a doctor in the family. So as I was a kid, they always told me like, "Hey, be ready to be the doctor of the family." Up to date, my dad maybe he wants me to be a physician, more than a dentist, but it's too late. But yeah, so I started as, as a kid, I was a little bit smart in the school. I tried my best always kind of like, to be on the top of my stuff. And then I did a study in English in my back home at the time, which was not a privilege for everyone. And that did help me to be better in my dentistry. So all it started in the childhood, and all it started with the motivation from the family. They pushed me forward. I worked very hard for it, of course, as a kid at the time. And then through the years, I was able to build into it little by little by little. Of course, I did not just, and this is maybe also can benefit to the people who are trying to find out a way for themselves, a career for themselves, and they're at the beginning of it. Actually, at one point, I wanted to be a biologist. Then I wanted to be a carpenter. Then I wanted to be a pilot. Then I ended up to be a dentist. And I don't remember when exactly I wanted to be a dentist, to be honest with you. Basically, the time I used to watch something on TV, I wanted to be that thing. With the time, just as I said, it's building up, building up, building up. And then eventually, of course, I like biology a lot. I like all those cells and all that stuff. And then from biology, I figure out like, okay, I need to be a dentist. And that's when I started my journey back in 1999. Okay. Took me a few years, of course, to finish dental school and, start practicing and so on and so forth.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that with me. A lot of people, they have that same thing with their dreams, where they're like, well, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be this. I want to be that. And, I always tell people that that's okay to want to be all these things. That's what makes us human. We don't always have to settle in one thing. And sometimes we settle in things that don't make sense to us, but make sense to our life at that time. And they
Correct.
become part of our identity over time.
Correct. Correct. The bottom line, Justin, here is that you may choose something and it's very okay to change because you don't want to live a life that you don't really enjoy it. A lot of people, they ask me, what would you do if you're not a dentist? I always got this question from patients, people, like whatever. And I say, really? I don't know because I'm not good at anything else but dentistry, So the bottom line is that I really enjoy what I'm doing. And I'm not doing this because we're going to be online and I'm just not saying it just to say, oh, wow, this is all I, but really and truly, I do enjoy what I'm doing. And through the years, what I figured is that I was able to perform better and it did give me a better lifestyle. And the lifestyle that I'm talking about is not money financially. It's the peace that I have every day, that I'm doing what I'm enjoying the most in my life. So it's very, very crucial to choose what you like and what you enjoy. Yeah, some days gonna be down. And I think that's part of the process, because if I'm gonna tell them I'm like this every single day, I'm lying to you. Some days like I'm go down and then go up, and up and down. But in general, I really and truly, I think and I believe I did the right choice of being a dentist. But it doesn't mean, that my kids they have to be dentists. It doesn't mean my brother or my whoever or my best friend needs to be a dentist. I always tell them, go to what you think is right for you and take it from there, and see yourself. Is that the right fit for you or not? If, for example, if you like to, if you like as a kid to play with cars and change oil and stuff like that, then go be an engineer. If you're afraid of blood, don't be a dentist, don't be a surgeon, don't, because that's not going to fit you, even if you think that's the right fit for you. So it's definitely a journey. I don't regret it, to be honest with you. I don't regret the journey. It's a hard journey. It takes a lot of years, a lot of dedication, a lot of time to do it. I wouldn't say like I was able kind of like to do a lot of things in my life that other people they were able to do it because they have more free time on their end. It does suck a lot of time and years to be able to do it, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
I love that because anything you're going to do, you should always do it with your full heart into it. If your heart's not into it, then you have to find something that really. So a lot of us get stuck in that mode, that matrix sometimes of I have to do this. This is what my parents wanted me to do. This is who I'm supposed to be. We don't
Absolutely.
realize that there's more to life. Just having this
Absolutely.
conversation, you see that, you feel it from you, it radiates from you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I can't agree more than that with you, Justin. It's very important. Yes, I had the influence of my parents on me by them telling me, you're going to be the doctor of the family. But I took that as a compliment from them. I did not take it as I have to be, like I have
Yeah,
to sit down with myself. As I said, I was like, kind of like, I'm going to run, like every day I was like in a different mood and in a different function and
it
mindset,
takes time
everything.
sometimes.
Yeah, until I found out like, okay, this is what I want to be. Thank you from my parents. They did help me a lot through the process, by the way. It's wrong to think that we are going to be able to do it by our own selves. Yes, I did my homework, definitely, to be a dentist and to be where I am today. However, I got a lot of help from a lot of people. Okay, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. Okay. And even sometimes dental school in the United States, as you may know, it's a little bit pricey. It takes a lot of, resources to be able to do it. The
Yeah.
the process in the school, the acceptance in the school process, it's not easy because there's a lot of competition. I did go to school here in South of Florida, Nova Southeastern University. It's a very competitive school because a lot of students they want to go to it because the beach, all that good stuff that comes with Florida, the sun, the weather. So it makes it even harder for me to get accepted in the school. So, but at the end of the day, you need kind of like to have multiple things to play at the same time to get what you're looking for. And it's okay. It's absolutely fine sometimes to feel like you failed in it and you're not going to be able to continue. But, push it through it.
That is true. I love how you brought that up and also how you touched on they were so competitive. So if dental is so competitive, what is it that makes you stand out? Not just as a dentist, but as a human being. How do you connect with your patients? How do you show them that you're different than everyone else? What does that look like?
It was a learning curve, to be honest with you. I graduated back in 2010, and the, the career itself, it's like there is a growing process into it. It's kind of like you're a kid, then you're going to nursing school, then you're going to elementary school. There is a process. Okay, you're kind of like you kind of like maturate through the process. So I graduated back in 2010. Okay, am I the same person per se since 2010? Absolutely not. I've changed on a personal level. And then along the change on the personal level, which was in a good way, it did change my philosophy about dentistry. It did change my philosophy about how to communicate with the patients. It did make me feel a more human, if you want to call it, with my patients. I kind of like I it's they are my patients at the end of the day. And sometimes as a doctor, I need to separate my emotions a little bit from the process. From so if a patient is coming with pain, I will I will put myself in their position. But then also part of it will tell me you need to help them out. And to help them out, you have to make decisions and help them to make decisions, even if those decisions that may sometimes it may get hard. Meaning, I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get patients here that they need open heart surgery. So before you're doing an open heart surgery, they need a clearance from the dentist to make sure there is no infections in the mouth.
Wow.
It's because if they're going to do the open heart surgery and they have an infection in the mouth, that infection can travel from the mouth to the heart and can cause heart infections. Okay, what we call endocarditis. So when I have a patient like this sitting in front of me, I have to look at him. Okay, maybe like he's going to be the age of my dad. So then my dad comes to the picture, it makes me think, okay, I hope my dad is not going to be in this situation one day. And also I have to see like, am I going to be able to see this patient again? If they have been my patients for so many years and suddenly they knock my door and say, I'm going to an open heart surgery. I need to change three, four, or five valves, whatever the case is. I need stents. It really, at the end of the day, like it makes it feel like you are in their position. You are like you feel for them. Okay. But at the same time, I have to make hard decisions. So I cannot be conservative with those patients, for example. I need to make sure that they're completely cleared and healthy before they go to their surgery. And sometimes the talk it can be very emotional, if you want to call it. Of course, through the time, I was able to get my emotions a little bit out of the picture. And it took me some time, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I'm dealing with humans. I'm not dealing with machines. I always say
Yeah.
the medical field, okay, if it's a special kind of like field. If you have a computer in your hand and you broke it, you make it fall on the floor and on the ground and you shatter that computer into pieces, you still can buy a different computer and as if nothing happened. You know,
Yeah.
you can do that with the humans. You
Mhm.
can't. You cannot just shatter.
That's what it seems like sometimes within the medical system, how they treat us, it seems like that. They've
Yeah,
forgotten how it is that we are humans, we have to connect.
we have to. We
Yeah.
have to. Um, like I remember, maybe I would say back in 2012, I had a patient actually of domestic violence. Actually, I have one in 2012 and I have one not one time ago. And those type of women of domestic violence, they are really suffering. Believe me, they're really suffering. Yes, they do come. They told me I got hit on my mouth and I broke all my teeth, but I know there is a whole different story behind those teeth that I need to look into. And to dig into their world is very important because yes, I may be able to fix up their teeth. Am I going to be able to give them their confidence back? Am I going to be able to make them smile again? Because you don't know how do they feel. They're really embarrassed about their situation. It really does impact them in a very negative way. And it does take more energy for me to be able to spend more time with those type of patients. So, but it's worth it. At the end of the night, I go home and I feel like I did impact someone in a good way, and I hope I was able to help them to become better tomorrow. And you take it from there.
I love that. You're pretty much you're their advocate for a voice that cannot speak just yet. And I love that because it really does put the human side on dentistry. And it kind of helps you understand like you're not just there to fix things in their mouth, but you're actually there to kind of connect with them, advocate for them, and help them on their journey, wherever that may be, as they come into your office and as they leave your office. I like that.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. I
It's a
agree with
very
you.
powerful thing. I've never heard that spoken this way about dentistry, but in a way, that's kind of path I'm on here to help people speak about this in any language of any work that they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
Absolutely.
humans working with humans, humans helping humans.
Absolutely.
Like you said earlier, we're not machines. We can't be put back together.
No, we're not machines, and
Try to pretend to be.
sometimes we're maybe more broken even than machines.
Woo! Ain't that the truth?
So you know, I at the end of at the day, all what you can do as a human in our lives is that we make our lives first better as a human, and then you would take it to other people and
Yeah,
shine it through them, and hopefully they will can shine on their own. And I think that's the purpose of life. I think it's how we communicate with each other as humans is more important than a lot of things happening, especially nowadays in life. There's a lot of materialistic things happening in
yeah.
life in every single aspect, and not just dentistry and everything.
Yeah, especially with social media, people post so much stuff on there, and you think, "Oh, I have to live my life this way, or this should be how I should be," and people just forget that I'm a human being. I need to live my life for me so I can shine through others. We can't forget that.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yes. Yes.
It's very powerful there because, when you get up every day, you're not just working on people's teeth, you're employing people who come in there, they rely on you for employment. People come in there, they rely on you to fix their teeth, help them with their emotions, just kinda sit there and talk with them and help them and guide them through it, you know? I've
Yes.
been through that myself with technology, where people started coming up and talking to me about their deep emotions. I didn't understand. I'm like, "I'm just your IT guy." But I realized I'm more than an IT guy. I'm connecting you as a human to get to the root problem of what's actually going on in your life and why you can't get from A to B how you're supposed to.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. I wish like kind of like, but we don't have control over the world, of course. I
Yeah.
wish if we put a little of a human in every single thing alive, then I think that's going to connect us better as a humans more than anything else. In every field, just pick up
Yes.
anything. It doesn't have you don't have to be an IT guy. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. But if we just put a
Yes.
little bit of a human into the equation, I think life will be much better for all of us. Although
I
sometimes it's hard to achieve, but
Well, yeah, sometimes some of these humans out there really push your buttons, but gotta take a step back and just be like, "Goose Faba, just
yes,
today, just not today."
yes, yes,
We have to admit that we are human too. We get angry, we get upset, we get pissed off. We had bad days,
of
no
course.
matter what field we're in. That's okay.
That's absolutely fine. We're humans. Today I had a talk with one of my family members. I'm not feeling my best. I'm not gonna lie about it. And I'm not afraid to share that because we're humans. Like in the morning, someone told me something and then, I'm like, it set me off. And then same thing could happen with my employees, for example.
Yeah,
Okay. Yesterday I had a new patient. Okay. He came in yesterday to the office. He was very frustrated. He's a new patient. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And, the minute that he got to the office, he was frustrated, you know? And we had like a little talk, human to human, to be honest with you. We had like
yeah,
I said, listen, I cannot be your dentist today. I cannot. I would love to be your dentist today, but I cannot be your dentist today because you're not ready for me to be your dentist today. Okay. And then I said, let's see you tomorrow. And before our meeting, a couple hours ago, actually, the same patient showed up and he came back. And we had a consultation for 1 hour. We talked for 1 hour about his teeth and everything. And I'm very happy, and he left like with a smile on his face and like as if nothing happened. And even my assistant, she came to me, she said, Dr. Hassan, he is not the same person who was here in the office yesterday. And I said, yes, I agree with you. And she said, he could be having a bad day yesterday, very much. And maybe maybe something happened at work. Maybe something happened on family, love before his appointment. So when he showed up to us, he was already like up to here.
Taking
So
this out on you now.
yes, yes. So I figured, since I don't know him, obviously it's not me yesterday. I didn't, and we were able to talk through it, and then he's coming back for for his dental work next week, and because we're Thanksgiving weekend this week, so he's coming next week, and then we're starting as normal.
That's how you keep patients for life right there, you
Yes,
know? And I always try to help myself remember sometimes if someone's, like, upset or something, and let's say it's about my work or something, I kinda take a step back and let's think about this in a human way. There's something going on with them, so let's just have a human conversation. Whatever we're trying to work on, let's not work on that. Let's just talk. What's going on with you? What's
right.
happening? How was your day? Just
Yes,
really get into it without small talk, but
yes,
just really connect. And people kind of get like, "Oh, you're connecting with me. You want to talk now," and they let their guard down, and they allow
absolutely.
time to tell you what's going on. It's amazing. It'd
It's
be more of that in this world, but we're so far from it. But I feel it coming back more.
It is. Hopefully, it will come back more and more and more. Especially now, I feel like a lot of people are more into therapy and healing and all that stuff. They
Yeah,
are going through the healing and going through things that they couldn't. It's not their mistake. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, there is certain things happens in your life. It's not your mistake. It's just the way life was presented to you. It doesn't mean life should be that way, but it was presented to you that way. So I feel now there's a lot of people actually, they're talking more about, for example, yoga, meditation,
for waking up.
astrology, therapists, all that good stuff. Okay. And I think it's very important for us as a society to understand the impact of psychology in our life,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like that's the core of everything. One day I was driving, okay, and then someone was like honking behind me, like, and I was like driving normal, like nothing, you know? And then, no, actually, I got frustrated with that person. I had a friend with me in the car, and he was like, "Do they know you?" I said, "Hell no, they don't know
We're
me."
going to now.
I mean, no, they don't know me. He said, "Do you have any issues with him?" I said, "I don't have any issues with him. No, he's not. I don't know who's the guy." He said, "So he's not really upset with you. You're driving the right way. You're on the right speed. You're not doing any mistakes or stupid moves or anything on the road. So really, he is frustrated with something else, and he projected it on you. And that's why you should just let it go." Guess what? I got my lesson through it. So now people, they come like honking, do whatever you want to do.
It took me years to learn that one. Woo!
I was like, I mean, do whatever you would like to do. But you're like, I'm not gonna get pissed. If you want me to get pissed, I'm not gonna get pissed. You can
Well,
be.
you found your peace, you found your center, your calm. When you have that, everything else is just noise and you just ignore it. It just rolls
Yes,
off.
amen to that. Amen to that.
And like you said about the healing journey, I'm actually on that myself and helping other people wake up and learning that like I said, when you find that clarity and the calm, nothing else around here matters, but you're able to connect with them on a human level without reacting. Now, is it always easy? Hell no.
No. You
Because
have to go.
sometimes you're like, no,
Yeah, yeah. And don't forget, sometimes they trigger your traumas, and then they get you in
yeah.
it's gonna like it's a battle that you need to know how to balance through it. Some people, they come there just to trigger your
It's
trauma.
like a mirror. I've learned it's like a mirror. Whatever
Yeah,
that triggers on you, there's something that you haven't healed yet that's triggering you so hard.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah,
life is a beautiful thing, but also it can be even more amazing by just connecting with someone, taking the time.
yeah. It's to humans, to nature, to
Human first, business second.
well, obviously, you're not gonna be able to grow a business without having the personal background.
You're not,
You're
no.
not. You're not. A lot of people, they think this business is successful. Yes, there is a management aspect of it. Definitely, management is a big thing
But it's
of
hollow.
the success of any business. However, um, the heads and the management, they need to understand life in general, and they need to know, like, how to maneuver through it to be able to get what they want, and that takes a lot of understanding of life, to be honest with you. If you ask me personally, I look at it this way today. I did not look at it this way maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I did not look at it that,
Same.
today. If you ask me, Hassan, if you want to be successful, what's the core of success? I would tell you, you, me, the core is us. If
Understanding
the
yourself.
core is not solid and have good foundation, you're not going to build up that beautiful layers around it. You will not. You will build up something.
Yeah,
You can.
something.
You will get something. No question about it. But is it going to be as clean and as neat when your core is clean and nice? No. We have to change the core of us as humans to be able to have a better business, to have a better relationships, to have a better communication with people, to have a better families, to have a better everything, friendships, anything. The business is part of it. Have that connection with patients. If I don't understand where they're coming from, I'm going to be able to really treat their problem.
Yeah.
Because believe me, sometimes the problem is not just teeth. Believe me, the problem is way beyond teeth. And sometimes I need to understand, what's behind that
Like
current.
you said earlier, psychological.
It is.
There is a
It
lot
is.
of
And, thank God I've been able to. A lot of patients, they come to my office, for example, they say, I cannot deal with a dentist unless like I have an IV sedation. IV sedation is basically, you
dentists
know,
that you're going to.
that's kind of like, like don't touch me, don't do anything without IV sedation. And my first question to them, I say, why do you want me to give you IV sedation? I'm afraid of the dentist. I have anxiety, I had bad experience. I said, hold on. That's the point. Guess what? Most of them, they have a bad experience as a kid, in a child. Oh, I went with my mom, and they needed to remove this tooth on me, and the dentist at the time did not give me enough anesthetic, and I was in pain. So now pain for them is a trauma. Pain is like something is going to present itself. You cannot take pain anymore in your life, and you need to avoid the pain. And then the way to avoid the pain is by putting you to sleep with IV sedation, so you won't feel the pain and you wake up as if nothing happened. I'm not saying that there is no indications for IV sedation, but I'm saying there is most of the time, 9 out of 10 in my office, to be honest with you, I was able to take the patients from that IV sedation arena and get them into regular patients. And through the years, I even forget, they come to the office now, they're like normal, like you and I. They come and they
You
talk and
healed them.
they're
You
like
healed
normal.
their dental traumas.
And I forget that they needed IV sedations. you know? And then sometimes they come to me, Dr. Hassan, thank you very much. Like I don't need the IV sedation anymore because the IV sedation, first of all, to do it is more expense on your end. Beside your dental treatments, it's an extra expense that you have to invest to be able to do it. And then go to sleep or bring someone with you, drive you back home. The feeling after that. So it's worth it. It's worth kind of like to talk to the patients and to dig into their world and find out what's was the reason of their anxieties. And it's very rewarding to me, to be honest with you. It's very rewarding.
I love that, especially the sedation meta I feel like the sedation was a metaphor for not only the dental work, but the things going on in their life. They're sedating their lives, their pain, going
Absolutely.
from their healing.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
huge comparison right there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Powerful.
Yes.
See, that's what I love because people like yourselves that to be able to connect with people, not just as a patient, but as a human being, you understand that we need this connection more. Sometimes this is the therapy for people. Just having someone to listen to, your dentist, your IT, your mechanic, whoever it may be. That is the therapy that we need as human beings, is to have that connection, that talk. And I feel that's what we've always needed, but we've kind of just gotten in these weird boxes and silos of I need this healing, I need that healing, I need this psychology, I need that. Just we just need our human beings being connected, talk.
Absolutely. You're very right there, Jason. It's a very true statement. Your therapist or psychologist is not the only person that can help you out.
And sometimes they don't help you. They
Sometimes,
keep you
yeah,
in the trauma for years. The trauma
yeah.
starts.
To be honest with you, I was lucky with someone that he really advanced me a lot.
That's amazing.
Yes, yes. But I've heard some stories actually.
Got some bad ones too, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some stories that not everyone is going to be able to help you out, and that's fine. Not every IT is going to be able to help me. Not every dentist is going to be
Yeah.
able to help you. You know, and that's what's also we need to understand that not everyone that you go. Some people they're going to give you good experiences. Some people are going to give you bad experiences. But it
Yes.
doesn't make everyone good, and it doesn't make everyone bad. So we need kind of like to go like with of course with all the good intentions that someone is going to be able to help me out in a good way. But if they're not going to be able to help me out, it doesn't mean that's the end of the line. It means that okay, I need to change my line, and then I'm gonna try to approach someone better and to get me what I want it to be.
I love that because they actually go through the whole thing like you hire a coach and you go through so many coaches. Well, you went through so many, so what's the problem here? And usually it's something with you inside you that you're not
Yeah.
doing, you're not connecting. It's not necessarily the coaches. It's that
Yes.
same thing,
Yes. Yes.
that inner
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It always comes back to that inner work. Once we do that, the light shines, the light goes through everyone else.
Yeah. It's a hard work.
It is, man. It's hard sometimes. I was at a point before I was like, "Fuck this. Why am I doing it?" But I had to think, "Hold on a minute. Where were you before on this journey?" "Okay, I don't wanna be back there. No, 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 no.
No. No. No.
Let's
No.
keep
No.
going."
It's hard to live someone else's life within your life.
Yeah, ooh, I just heard that recently. Yes.
It's very hard to live to. It's not worth it. Most of our sufferings are not coming from us. It's coming from generations. You know, and
Generational
it's up
contracts,
to us
man.
if we're gonna keep passing that. We're passing everything to the next generation. Hair, color, eyes.
Bad habits.
You know, you want to pass that psychology, if you want to call it, to them? No, I wouldn't be able to do that to my kids in the future.
You
So
gotta
that's
break
what.
that generational trauma. You gotta
No,
be the one.
no. So yeah, it's worth it though. It's worth it.
It really is, man. No, when you first start doing it, it's hard, it's tough. But what I've learned is you keep going, your capacity grows, your humanity grows, your love, kindness, and patience grows. And then you're unstoppable.
Yes,
You
yes.
gotta keep going.
And also, what is going to happen as well? You will lose people through that process,
Yeah.
and it's okay. I
Yes.
lost some of friends, and it's okay. I lost some of my employees, and it's okay. Because some of the people they're not going to be able to comprehend where you're going. They want that old version from you. They cannot comprehend the new version of you. And the new version of you is going to bring a version of people around you within the new version of you, which is a better version. And that's how you grow on the personal level, on the business level, on every single level that you can think of. Okay. The tree will lose some of the leaves, you know, but the
I
roots are still there. So a new leaf will come in. They will come in and they're going to be, better and bigger and with stronger roots, which is the roots is me, you. As long as we have good root,
tree of life.
life will bring, better people in your life, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to aim for it or not. It's just
Right?
like you're not going to be accepting less, basically. You're not going to be accepting that hurt and, anymore in your life. So that's what I'm trying kind of like to educate myself to begin with. And that's what I'm trying to discuss it with my family, trying to discuss it with my friends, trying to discuss
Yes.
it with my patients, with my employees, you know, and the choice is theirs, is not mine.
Yeah, you can only facilitate the conversation.
Correct.
Your purpose goes beyond being a dentist. I don't know, I think you see that too, that you're
Yeah.
more than just what your job is, but this is like your purpose in life to have these conversations with all those people, just to kind
Yes.
of open that door for them.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I'm
Yes,
and I'm okay with it. At this age of my life and at this point of my professional life, I'm very satisfied with it. I'm very okay with it. And I'm glad I'm being able to help that way, and I'm waiting for help from people as well, because it goes both ways, because there will be things that I see in myself. There is other things that I don't see in myself. And I need a light to shine on these weaknesses for me to improve them. And it goes both ways,
it
you know.
does.
Sometimes sometimes patients, they will come, or a friend will come in, and then they will just say one word to me, and that one word will open like a box of things. It's like a Pandora box. And I appreciate them. I do appreciate those people in my life so much, because I know they're going to make me better tomorrow.
Yes,
I know I'm going to sleep and I'm going to wake up as a different person tomorrow. And that's how I'm going to keep going. Until I don't know if there's an end for this, to be honest with you. I don't think so. I feel like this is purpose of life, and whoever think like there will be an end for this, I'm afraid there is no end of this, because
energy never dies.
we're very imperfect. We're very imperfect.
I believe energy never dies. I mean, that's my I have a strong, profound belief in quantum mechanics and quantum physics, about the energy and frequency is a powerful thing in human beings, and it never will die. It just continues. Maybe we remember the journey, maybe we don't into the next life, wherever the energy goes. But I believe in that strongly and profoundly.
Right. Well, our energies are living in other people by
Yeah.
or their energy living in us.
Yeah.
So when we go dead, you know, part of our energy are still embedded in those people, and then they can transform it to other people. And the word is I believe, like, the word is stronger than a sword. The words are stronger than a knife. A knife can go here, stab you, and then you heal after that. Word, it takes much more than that.
It reminds me of that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's such full of shit. I don't know who came up with that. Words are powerful, but
Yes,
only have meanings that you give to them and the power that you give to them.
yes, yes, yes. So that's how we make impact. That's how make us people, humans. Our
I almost
mistakes.
forgot what you did for a minute. I almost forgot what you did for a minute. I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
Dr. Hassan, I want to thank you so much for coming on here today. This is a powerful conversation with you and a really good, great first podcast.
Thank you.
You did very well.
I did well, right?
Yeah. Now don't go any other podcast. Don't go on there. Just stay here.
I will stay with you, and hopefully we're gonna be having more coming.
Yeah, I would love to.
I really enjoyed it. I feel, like today I had a purpose. Yes, I did this for to discuss about dentistry and patients, but I think I was able to achieve much more than that, and
Same.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for bringing such a subject to me, and to be able to discuss it with you, and hopefully it's going to reach a lot of people. To be honest with you, and not to be popular, but to be better.
Yes, I love that. I appreciate you. Before we go, I have one last question for you. What
Sure.
does it mean to you to be a human being?
Why are you asking such a loaded question after telling me we're going to be ending up with this? Because you're
I
just
get the
I mean,
brain
you
flow.
just let me to start again. Be kind, don't be nice. Kindness is coming from a strong position, and you're not pretend anything. Nice, you're trying to pretend someone who not you are. So if you ask me what made me a human, be kind. The first one to be kind to is yourself. So that's all. I would leave it there.
That was beautiful, and I love that, and I actually just learned that whole thing about nice guys and kind guys. There's a huge difference. I understood it internally, but I didn't conceptualize it into words until recently. Like,
Right.
really putting that together, I'm like, "That makes so much more sense."
Absolutely.
People look for kind souls, kindness.
Yeah.
Nice comes from a place of weakness, like you said.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Can you let the audience know where they can reach out to you, where they can find your dentistry if they wanna come visit you? And
Sure. So I have two offices. I have two locations in Florida. One is in Fort Lauderdale, the other one in Pembroke Pines. The one in Pembroke Pines is the older location. The one in Fort Lauderdale, I just opened it recently, about a year and 2 months now. I do everything in dentistry, surgeries, cosmetics, root canals. I enjoy it, as I said at the beginning of this, so I really enjoy what I'm doing. So I'm doing everything. And also right now, I'm expanding my practice to do sleep apnea, which I hope we're going to have one day a full talk about sleep apnea and what's the consequences of it. But I'm just implementing that in my office as well. So I'm reaching beyond right now. I'm going to sleep, and I know like a lot of people will say sleep and dentistry is not really where's the connection here? But one day we will make a very good connection between dentistry and sleep apnea. So two locations, Palmer Pines, Fort Lauderdale. They can reach me at my office. The phone number is 954-589-0292. They can talk to my staff, okay? And then let them come here, and then I'll be more than happy to take care of them.
thank you so much for that. We'll definitely put that in the show notes so they can find it easier. Thank you so much for coming on here again, Dr. Hassan. It's a real pleasure talking and getting to know you today.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.